from Florida, Mr. Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Forbes was stealing some of my thunder there, but I'll just reiterate that, you know, when Mr. Smith talks about the values of Article 3, nobody here obviously is saying that Article 3 courts are inadequate or that our Constitution is inadequate to prosecute these guys. Obviously, that's true. It's not a matter of whether or not, you know, if we bring somebody here, we can get a conviction, we can put them in Supermax, and they're going to be detained forever and everybody's going to be safe. Of course. The argument is with regard to the 200 remaining detainees at Gitmo, which you're sort of boiling down, by the way, to the worst of the worst, sooner rather than later. It's a matter of jurisdiction, and Mr. Forbes was touching on this. Jurisdiction attaches when you bring them here, and certainly you're right. The underwear bomber, the Times Square bomber, these guys that were captured in America might have jurisdiction attached, so they're afforded Article 3 rights. But when you're talking about people that were detained in Iraq and Afghanistan or wherever, brought to Gitmo, and then we're going to bring them here to have jurisdiction attached and give them our constitutional rights where they don't deserve it, I think runs afoul or steps into an area where you also mentioned Mr. Youssef, who, if you would ask the judge and the people that participated in that trial and the Jake's trial and the circus that went on with bringing those people to conviction and the amount of sources and intelligence we had to give up with providing the evidence when they're allowed to face their accuser and face the evidence that's brought against them, the amount of people that we outed, the amount of sources that we had to give up just to prosecute and gain a conviction.
Gentleman yield.
Just a minute. Rather than having a military commission where that evidence could be brought up in a secure way, and Mr. Reyes knows this as well, brought up in a secure way so that we can gain a conviction without revealing our sources abroad. And this is well documented. It's a matter of, and you say values, somehow that the military commission doesn't rise to the level of the values of our Constitution and the spirit of our country. Why doesn't the military commission represent who we are as well? Just because we're trying to protect the sources and the intelligence that, you know, we might not want to give out to the rest of the world by bringing...
I can answer that question.
I'll yield. Briefly.
We have an over 220 some odd year history of using our federal courts. Our military commissions are barely being tried. So they are not as dependable as the Article 3 courts by dint of history, if by nothing else. And then finally, I want to say, you made a very serious charge there that in the trial of Ramsey Youssef, that we outed some people, we revealed sources to people. I would love it, not now, if you don't have it available, I'd love to get the specific instance of that, because I have not heard that, and I don't know that you can back up.
And I'll reclaim, the evidence that had to be revealed through the disclosure of the evidence during both of those trials was such that I don't think anybody in this room, once they knew the specifics, would be comfortable revealing. But we had to do it to gain the conviction. And with regard to the matter that's at hand, I just want to get back to the fact that if we have an Article 3 court, which I agree with you, I think is just as capable as the military commission to try them at Gitmo, but the matter results back to why would we give them jurisdiction in the United States when military commissions are just as useful and just as fair at Gitmo? Why would we do that for the sake of, and you say values, that presupposes that the values that we have in military commissions are inadequate. And with that, I yield back.